What's up everybody, Super Duper X Fan here for a slightly off the wall video. I just got done driving the new Jaguar F-Type. It was the V6 S version that I drove, and I just want to give you guys my impressions of what I thought about it, because obviously I couldn't do a review while I was test driving, but wow. So there's a lot of good things I loved about the F-Type and a lot of things that I didn't. The pros about the car is that it's beautiful. The power is fantastic. Sure, just the V6S, I mean, it's a supercharged V6, 380 horsepower, plenty of power for me. There's no reason for me to go with the V8. The V6 had plenty of power, plenty fast. I think the V8 is just going to be way too overpowered. It's just going to go sideways all the time, which will be entertaining, but for my driving style, I think I would rather have the V6 myself. But so the power was incredible. Throttle response was pretty good. It wasn't as sharp as I'd like, though. Otherwise, you know, the sound of the car obviously is probably the best part. I loved the sound. I didn't even have the top down because it's a cold day today, but even with the top up, with the active exhaust, oh man, and when you hold gears and it deaccelerates and you hear that the crackle and the popping, and just this exhaust note is so beautiful in that car. That almost is enough to sell me on the car on its own. But the things I didn't like about the F-Type were that it felt like a big car. One of the reasons why I love driving my BRZ is that it doesn't feel big. You can easily see out over the corners, and I expected the F-Type to not be quite as small looking because the F-Type has a long front hood, and you know, so I expected that, but I didn't expect it to feel as big as it felt. I mean, it's not a wide car really, but it felt really wide to me whenever I was sitting in it. And it felt really big. Like, I felt like if I was in a tight space, I'd be really nervous about bumping into something whenever I'm in it. Also, the steering wheel felt really big to me. It has a flat bottom because this was the one that has the sport package on it. So it had a flat bottom steering wheel, but it was still really wide in your hands. I mean, the feel was great. It was nice and thick, and it was really nice. The paddles are perfectly placed. But it was just wide. Like, I felt like I was out here, like, holding the wheel instead of, you know, a nice small wheel like this. It was just big. I felt like I was steering with a pizza box or something. It was just a little weird. I could probably get used to that, and I could probably get used to the size of it. I think the goods still outweigh the bads, but I wasn't as amazed and blown away by it as I thought I would. I mean, it was really impressive. I think it would be even more impressive with a manual gearbox. The automatic in that car is probably my other biggest complaint about it, is just, it's great on the upshifts, like most automatics, you know, it's very quick to respond to your commands with the paddles, but the downshifts, even in the full sport manual mode, is slow. I mean, you hit the downshift and it'll do it, but it delays it a second. I mean, the Volkswagen GLI that I reviewed a few weeks ago had faster, and that's a $25,000 Volkswagen with a proper dual clutch transmission. I don't know why Jaguar couldn't do a proper dual clutch in this car. Just a little bit of a disappointment, and I mean, at least give us an option to have a manual. It's just, all the salesmen and all the Jaguar representatives I've talked to are saying, no, there's not going to be a manual. No one wants a manual anymore. Everyone wants an automatic, and that's just simply not true. So, I mean, obviously, I don't know if they couldn't get a manual developed in time or what's going on. I hope they make it an option eventually, because that's probably the biggest drawback other than the way it felt size-wise. But yeah, wasn't quite... I didn't fall in love with it immediately like I was hoping I would. It's a little bit of a disappointment, but it's an amazing car. Really, really, really fun. So it didn't sell me on it though. So now I'm back to kind of just pondering over it. I'll be thinking about this for probably the next couple of weeks, and just, you know, how I felt about the way it drove. Just like I said, I wish it didn't feel so big. When I got back in the BRZ, I felt cozy again. It was, you know, just a nice, I love the way the BRZ drives. There's something about how raw it is. The steering feel on the Jag was okay. It was pretty good. It was a little oddly weighted. It was almost too heavy at low speeds, artificially feeling. It didn't feel natural, the steering. At higher speeds it felt a little bit better, but it was kind of weird. So it's just, I don't know, I'm a little conflicted by it. I mean, they did so much time developing this car, and they put so much work into it, that I feel like I, you know, need to do a longer drive or spend a day with it to really appreciate it. But from my first impressions, I wasn't super impressed. It's impressive, but not enough to make me, you know, try and sell my kidney to buy one. It's not that spectacular. So, yeah, so those are my impressions. Let me know what you guys think about the F-Type. If any of you have driven the car, what you think about it. I'd love to hear if, what you guys think about the car. Obviously, maybe it was just, something I had set up wrong as to why the steering didn't feel as good, or, things like that. So, anyway, those are my impressions on the test drive of the 2014 Jaguar F-Type. And thanks for watching. And if you like it, please share it.